It all started here in Pennsylvania. When we speak of liberty and freedom, of justice and equality, we must never forget that these principles form the foundation of our Pennsylvania Constitution, as well as the foundation of our country. Although the three branches of government are equally obligated to uphold the Constitution, it is above all the judicial branch, at our capital in Harrisburg, and in courthouses across the state, which keep our Constitution alive and have done so for over 300 years, and it continues to this very day. The Pennsylvania Constitution sets the framework for our government and protects each citizen with rights and privileges that are unheard of in many parts of the world, such as equal protection under the law, due process, freedom of speech and of the press, and the right against self-incrimination. Today, there are places in this world at this very moment where basic human rights are not recognized, where citizens do not have the right to practice the religion of their choice, where a dictator or other tyrant controls the news media, and where women are treated unequally. We should never forget that we changed the world, and it all happened right here in Pennsylvania. The U.S. Constitution and the Pennsylvania Constitution remain the greatest roadmaps for freedom and liberty that the world has ever seen. It is the responsibility of the Pennsylvania judiciary to keep these freedoms alive for the benefit of our children and our grandchildren. This election year, the Democratic Party has nominated candidates for Pennsylvania's appellate court who will uphold the rights of all citizens, protect our streets, and safeguard our liberties. The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania is the highest court in the Commonwealth. It is also the oldest appellate court in the nation, dating to 1684, which makes it older than the United States Supreme Court. The court makes final interpretations of state law and has administrative authority over the entire Pennsylvania court system. 7 justices make up the court. There is 1 opening. We must reach out to all Democrats across the state because of redistricting in 2010. We cannot permit the Republican Party to gerrymander the state. All citizens deserve fair representation in the legislature. We need a Supreme Court that will be fair and not controlled by a political party. Awarded the Pennsylvania Bar Association's highest ranking, Judge Jack Panella has 18 years' experience as a trial and appellate judge. He has extensive experience in civil and criminal cases, and he serves as the administrative judge for wiretaps in Pennsylvania. Judge Panella is dedicated to judicial ethics, accountability, and reform. He is the only judge in the history of Pennsylvania to be both the president judge of the Court of Judicial Discipline and the chair of the Judicial Conduct Board. Panella has played a role in disciplining unethical judges for over 10 years and has always demonstrated a high level of integrity and honesty in his life, both professionally and personally. A longtime advocate for victims of domestic and sexual violence, Panella is the author of the Pennsylvania Sexual Violence Bench Book. He has always protected victims of crimes and is endorsed and supported by law enforcement. Jack Panella has a longtime record of commitment to his community. He is an active member of numerous community-based organizations and took the time to visit our American troops in Bosnia and Germany. He doesn't just talk about it, he gets out there and works for his community, his country, and his state. Jack Panella will ensure justice for all citizens. The Superior Court of Pennsylvania was originally established in 1895. There are 15 judges on the Superior Court, and they decide a wide variety of cases, both criminal and civil, on appeals from the trial level. It is one of the busiest appellate courts in the nation. Judges of the Superior Court also decide whether to issue wiretaps and other forms of electronic surveillance when requested by the Attorney General or another branch of law enforcement. Judge Robert Colville had an active trial practice, both civil and criminal, before he was elected a trial judge. But even before he was a lawyer, he was a card-carrying member of Labor's Local 1058 and worked on construction and demolition projects. Bob Colville became Judge Colville when he was elected to the Allegheny County Bench in 1999 and took office as a trial judge in January of 2000. Judge Colville has extensive experience in juvenile court and has also presided over nearly 300 trials covering nearly every type of case that is presented in court. Attorney Kevin Francis McCarthy is a skilled and experienced prosecutor responsible for seeking justice for victims and their families in some of the most infamous cases ever to be heard in the Allegheny County Court. Kevin McCarthy is one of the most experienced criminal attorneys in Pennsylvania. During his 19-year career as an assistant district attorney specializing in appeals, Kevin has handled more than 600 appellate cases. He is credited with winning appeals that set legal precedents in important areas of the law, including drug trafficking and drunk driving. In the words of the Pennsylvania Bar Association, Kevin has proven to be a superior appellate advocate. He is highly regarded by his colleagues in the practice of law, and he is described by his peers as honest and honorable. Following a successful 15-year career as an attorney, Ann Lazarus was first appointed to the trial court in Philadelphia in 1991 by Governor Robert P. Casey as a merit selection candidate. She then won a full 10-year term and was retained in 2001. Judge Lazarus has overseen a wide range of cases, including complex civil and criminal cases. Not being content to just do her job, she has contributed to the judiciary in Pennsylvania in numerous ways. She chairs the Ethics Committee of the Pennsylvania Conference of State Trial Judges, meaning other judges look to her for advice on ethical issues. She works on the Governor's Commission on Crime and Delinquency. She serves as an adjunct professor at the Widener University School of Law. She has worked many long hours to help litigants who cannot afford counsel and was recognized by the Pennsylvania Bar Association as the first ever recipient of the Judicial Pro Bono Award. It is no wonder that she is the candidate for the Superior Court who has received the highest rating by the Pennsylvania Bar Association as highly recommended. Teresa Sarmina has served as a judge in Philadelphia's Court of Common Pleas since 1998. In 2003, she was assigned to the Elite Homicide Program, where she has presided over more than 100 homicide trials. Judge Sarmina has a reputation as a tough but fair judge. The Pennsylvania Bar Association rated her as highly recommended and said her integrity and sound judicial temperament are unchallenged. Before becoming a judge, Teresa had a long career as a tough criminal prosecutor, working in the Philadelphia DA's office for Ed Rendell and in the Office of the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, where she supervised the Region 9 Drug Task Force. Judge Sarmina is active in her community and is an avid trail rider. Teresa loves exploring Pennsylvania's many scenic state and federal parks and forests with her paint quarter horse, Bonita. The Commonwealth Court was created in 1970 as the result of the Constitutional Convention. The Commonwealth Court hears cases in which Pennsylvania itself or a municipal subdivision is a party. Barbara Ernstberger has 30 years of legal experience representing families, injured workers, and veterans. She is rated by her peers as a lawyer with very high legal ability and ethical standards. Barbara Ernstberger is well suited to the Commonwealth Court. Her legal experience provides her with the perfect background to deal with the issues that come before the Commonwealth Court. As a lifelong Democrat from Western Pennsylvania, Linda Judson will bring balance to the Commonwealth Court. The Pennsylvania Bar Association recommends her as possessing the character, judicial temperament, and the skills to serve as a Commonwealth Court judge. Linda Judson has a reputation for fairness and understands that the Pennsylvania judiciary must protect the rights of all citizens, including the working class of Pennsylvania. These are the candidates for Pennsylvania's statewide judicial offices. Judges we can trust.